All right. Well, if you listen to the podcast, you know that we had Ryan Hollingshead on yesterday to talk the LAFC side of the Western Conference Finals. Let's go down to Texas, though. Let's talk Austin FC, and who better to do it with than El Capitan himself, the man in Austin, Mr. Verde, Alex Ring. Alex, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So you've obviously played for 2 years now in Austin. We know Q2 Stadium's one of the best environments. Playoff games, though, are always different in MLS. How has it sort of ratcheted it up these last two games? What's been the difference?
Yeah, I think we had a bit of a nervy start against Salt Lake, but I think the nerves settled down a little bit in these types of games yet. So I think that was something you could see. And then I thought we had a good performance against Dallas. I thought we deserved the win, and it was amazing to play in front of our fans.
We saw the pictures from the last game from you and your family, and we saw your daughter wearing cowboy boots. Is the family full Texan now?
Yeah, my friend of a family friend of ours had the kids for a sleepover, and she took them cowboy boot shopping, and they got the hats, matching hats too. So that's them. But yeah, we love being in Texas, and yeah, very unfinished, but it's all right. It's all right.
So if you were to win and NYC were to win, you would host MLS Cup next week. You said you've loved Texas. Do you have Rex for all of us when we come down for MLS Cup?
Yeah, I got you guys. No worries. I'll give you some recommendations if you come down.
I love that, and I would love to be there. If we were there, it would mean you'd be facing NYCFC in Austin's first ever MLS Cup final. What would that mean to you?
New York obviously is a very very special place for me. I had 4 wonderful years there. I think I grew up as a player, as a man. When I came there, I would say it was maybe my most important station in my career so far. So I would really look forward to meet my old club. I still have good contacts. I'm in contact with a lot of people from my time there, and yeah, it would be a dream for me.
For you personally, how tough was it, or was it tough to watch MLS Cup last year?
It's been tough every year because I haven't gotten far enough. But I was happy for it's nothing taken away from me. I was happy how much we put into it when I was there, and to see them achieve that something like that, I thought it was amazing. So now I want to be the one to do the same thing.
If I had told you at that time last year that Austin would be in the Western Conference Finals, would you have been surprised, or did you see this coming?
I mean, I would be lying if I said I would see this coming. I think the league is very, very close. All the teams are very close to one another. I think that's a big difference to, for example, European leagues where you
Mm.
have 3, 4 top teams that'll battle it out between themselves. But I stayed here for the off season. A lot of the guys stayed here for the off season to work out. We committed ourselves. Yeah, and hopefully we'll go all the way this year.
I don't know if you know this, but some analysts, quote unquote, didn't pick you guys high this season. Is that something the players are aware of, or is that just the fans and maybe front office that's been yelling it at us?
Nah, I mean, for me, that's your job. I think it's fair play. That's your job. I don't have anything to criticize about. It's not like I lose sleep over things that people write or say, and I don't need extra motivation. I can speak for other people, but that's at least in my case like this. I think it's being made a little bit too big for what it really is. So each for themselves how they think about these things, but I don't lose a wink of sleep, and I'm good with where we are right now. So
Well, that's good to know. I won't be worried about seeing you then next week, hopefully.
no, you
Um,
good.
let's talk about this team, because there was signs, though, right? Sebastian comes in late last year. The results change a bit. The soccer changes a bit, but this year it's come on in leaps and bounds. Is it that Josh's vision just took time? Is it the different pieces that have come into the team? What's the step that this squad has been able to take?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. You know how it is coming in as an expansion side with the salary cap, having to form a team. We had a lot of guys who hadn't had a big role on their previous team. I think sometimes we just lacked a certain game management and experience in some situations. We had our only true number 9 go down pretty early after 5 games. But yeah, of course, things take time. I think we got the right pieces already last year and then this off season, and we worked hard. We knew it wasn't good enough last year, but as you said, I think there were signs where we knew if we tweak a couple of things that we can go in a different direction to what it was last year, and that's what's thankfully happened this year.
One of the tweaks has been you. More of a 6 we've seen at times in MLS, playing more of an 8. It's changed your role, but it also hasn't at the same time. What do you feel about the way you fit into this team and where you're at your best?
Yeah, I think I play what the coach asks of me to play. Some games I've been playing more defensively, some games more offensively. I think it just depends on our personnel and who we're meeting and what the game plan is. For me, yeah, I think I've made my MLS career more as a 6, but I've been enjoying playing higher up at times this season too. So I'm not gonna have any complaints or whatsoever. I'm happy with where the team is this year, and we'll see how it goes.
I don't think it's a coincidence you've played for three of the best possession based managers in MLS, between Patrick Vieira, Dome, and now Josh Wolf. Is for you, is there a right way to play the game? Is there a wrong way? Results are one thing, but do you have a purist in you that is, this is the right way that the sport should be played?
Yeah, I think of course first and foremost you play to win, but you want to do it in a certain style. It still doesn't mean that you don't put in the effort. Physically when you don't have the ball, when you have the ball, I think it's just I just like the philosophy of how we play, how we played in New York under Dome and Patrick, and how we play under Josh, and I think yeah, it suits me.
Talk to me a little bit about Danny and the way he's changed and he does things. He beats guys off the dribble in ways few in MLS and central midfield can, but he's a young player. What have you seen from him? What's your relationship like on and off the field?
Yeah, I think he's shown a lot of growth to last year. We can't forget he came from college. In Europe, we we start playing at 17, 18. You make the first team and you start playing. I think it's a big difference to the American system where sometimes you'll be 21, 22 when you come out of college to MLS. And I think he's done great. This year he had his little bit of growing pains last year, yeah, but I always try to help him, be there, give him advice. He always jokes that I'm like his father in the team, and I feel like he's a little bit like my son. Sometimes I have to smack him to get back in line. No, I've been really happy with him. I think like you said, this season has been a very strong showing for him, and just keep putting in the work. He'll be fine.
The guy you two sit behind is an MLS MVP finalist and Golden Boot competitor. What makes Sebastian so special? What's it like playing with him?
I think the thing that differentiates him from anyone else who is a natural 10 or a second striker is his humility and his work rate. I think that just puts him atop of anyone else in the league. I mean, on the ball and the goals he scores for us and the attention he gets from other teams speaks for itself. I mean, we don't need to. For me, he's the clear MVP this year.
I think for a lot of people it is, especially after the performances the last two games. RSL didn't start the way you wanted. That was one game. Dallas felt like you guys were shot out of a cannon. Over the course of these two games, what has been the ebbs and flows? What's been the experience for the team to get to this point?
Yeah, like I said, we had a bit of a shaky start against Salt Lake and went down early, but I think you see our resiliency. I think we've shown it all year. We make it sometimes harder on ourselves than we probably should, but I think there's been growth within the season, and there's been growth within the playoffs of the way we've been playing. And I think you touched on it. The playoffs are a different beast. It's one and done. Momentum is a big thing, and I think with everything we've gone through this season, I think we'll be ready.
When you talk about LAFC, you guys are the only team to have beat them twice this year. You're one of only two teams that have won at the Bank of California Stadium. What is it that has worked so well for you against this squad?
Yeah, I think you have to have a near perfect game. Really strong team, very very strong identity. You have to be at your best. You have to be ready to compete. You have to be ready to suffer because that will always be the case against them. And I mean, we have our qualities as well. But the previous two games don't mean squat once we go there on Sunday, and I think that's the most important thing.
Do you guys have an idea of sort of what your expectation is of what they will be? LAFC for years has been they're going to open up, try and dominate possession, and this year it's shifted a bit. You guys are pretty committed, except for the game at LAFC was really one of the games where you had least possession. How is it that you think this game plays out?
Yeah, I think we'll come up with a game plan. I haven't talked to Josh yet, so I don't know what he has in mind. But yeah, you have to go there willing to to suffer to work, but at the same time not to show too much respect on the field because you don't want to give them too much time, too much space. They have a lot of quality, especially in midfield and up front. And yeah, you just have to match them with intensity, with fight, and put away the chances you get.
With how young your team is and how new obviously the club is this a feeling of maybe you're there earlier than expected and this isn't the one shot, or is it you're in a conference finals, you got to take advantage?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've been working so hard all year. All year, we've made it to the conference finals, and we want to make it to the MLS Cup final. Anything else would be bizarre for me if anyone would be happy with reaching the conference finals at this point.
It's going to be an exciting one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Two of the best quality of style soccer teams we've ever seen in MLS facing off, number 2 seed versus number 1 seed at the Bank of California Stadium. The gold and black, of course, of LAFC and the green of Austin FC. 3 p.m. Eastern time coming up on Sunday, and you will see Alex Ring out there on the field. Alex, fingers crossed next week. We're all wearing Cowboys hats. Cowboy hats. We're all hanging out. Do you have a barbecue spot?
No, but I'll have Maxi Urruti cook up a barbecue at my house.
Yes. Okay. I'll
All
bring the
right.
mate. He'll bring the barbecue, and that'll be great. Alex, appreciate you
All
taking the
right.
time today.
All right. No worries.